Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be going through ACS School Junior 2024 Prelim P6 question number 39. So this question is on electricity, particularly on electromagnet. Okay, the diagram represents a vending machine with identical iron bar X and Y. So means they are the same bar. Okay, the steel gate can slide left, right, okay, go back and forth. Okay, which is this part. Okay, when the button is pressed and released, okay, one packet of food is being dispensed, okay, from the bottom of the food shelf, and okay, this should be the shelf. Okay, the shelf return back to its original position. So I'm thinking that the original position is that the steel gate it will be nearer to Y. So when you press the button, let's say the person is waiting over here, right? The steel gate will move towards the left. Okay, and he will be able to get the packet of food, and then when he left the vending machine, he will probably release the button. Okay, therefore the vending machine will return back to the right hand side, okay, towards iron bar Y. Okay, so this is more or less a general story. So let us let's go to first question first. So question number 1. Explain which iron bar XY become a stronger electromagnet. Okay, stronger. So over here, if you want to look at which one is stronger, you look at the number of coils. Okay, obviously, X have more coils, so you become a stronger electromagnet. So the reason being there will be more electricity flowing through the coil around the iron bar. It's not through the iron bar, it's around the iron bar. The electricity is not flowing through the iron bar, but around it. Okay, so it will result in X being a stronger electromagnet. Therefore, it will be able to attract the steel gates as opposed to Y. Y can attract also, but because X is stronger, it will attract more, okay, than Y, causing the entire steel gate to move towards the left. This is more for part B. So let us take a look at part A first. The choice will be iron bar X. Okay, so iron bar X has more coil. This will be the key idea. More coil around it compared to X. So more electricity flow through the increased number of wire coil around X, causing X to become a stronger electromagnet. So this is a little bit repetitive, okay, for this part. Okay, more coil, more electricity flow through the wire coil around the iron bar. This will result in being a stronger electromagnet. So this is the main reason. So in this case, this is a 2 mark. But I think if it's without 2 mark, you can just say iron bar X has more coil, so it will become a stronger electromagnet. That will probably be a 1 mark requirement. So let's go back to this part B. Is really how the vending machine works. So you have to take a look at this key part. Press, release. So you need to put the situation as this. This will be the first situation when it's pressed, when it's released. Okay, so I'm going to put them into 2 colors around the circuit first. I'm going to trace them. So when the vending machine isn't pressed, okay, the button isn't pressed, right? This is what's going to happen. Okay, do you realize that there's a gap? There's a gap. So that means, right, X is open. The circuit with iron bar X is open. Okay, when it's not pressed. Okay, so what's going to happen is that electricity is going to flow through here, through the power source, through Y, back into here. That means Y, right? Y, whether the button is being pressed or unpressed, it will continue to become a electromagnet. This will always be electromagnet, regardless. Okay, whether the button is pressed or unpressed, because there's always electricity flowing through. Okay, so that means the steel gate will always be in this position. So in this case, this will be the original position. Okay, in this case. Okay, so what happened when it's being pressed? Okay, the situation is now being pressed. So this is what's going to happen. Okay, electricity will start to flow through this part. Okay, through the iron coil, through the coil wire around iron bar X back to the power source. Okay, and because X, as we said, is a stronger electromagnet, right? It will attract the steel gates towards the left and then allow the food to be dispensed. So this is how you can answer for the first part. button press, form a closed circuit with iron bar X, which become a stronger electromagnet compared to Y. So because there's a stronger electromagnet, the steel gate will be attracted to the left. Okay, because there's a greater magnetic force of attraction acting on the steel gates. Okay, towards the left, okay, dispense 1 packet of food. So let's say the person take the 1 packet of food, left already. So now we are talking about the button is being released. So the green color part. Button being released, what happened? Button being released, open circuit, formed with iron bar X. So that means there's a gap now. Okay, you take a look at this. So when this is being released, okay, there's a gap, open circuit. Blue color will not exist. Blue color will not exist anymore. So the original circuit, which is the electricity flow with iron bar Y, will continue to exist. And that having said so, right, because now we have an electromagnet over here, it will, the steel gate which is over here will now be attracted towards the right side, okay, back to its original position. So in this case, open circuit with iron bar X, iron bar loses its magnetism, cannot attract steel gate anymore. Okay, however, it remains a closed circuit with iron bar Y, which is still an electromagnet. Okay, this attract the steel gate back to the right side, which is the original position. This is the original position. Okay, so this is probably how you can answer for part B. Okay, part C, give a reason why the vending machine will not work if the steel gate change to copper. Okay, steel is a magnetic material. So in this case, right, it must be steel, or at least the gate must be made of steel, because it needs to be attracted by the electromagnet for it to work. If we change to copper, right, it will not work because it is a non-magnetic material. Okay, so what happened if you use copper? Okay, because it will not be attracted, right? So the steel gate will be just in this position throughout. It will not move anywhere. Even when the button is pressed or unpressed, nothing will happen because there's no attraction from the electromagnet towards the non-magnetic material. No attraction will happen. Okay, so in this case, the reason being is copper non-magnetic material cannot be attracted by electromagnet. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so a lot of students will think that because it is circuit, it must got to do with because copper is a conductor of electricity. Yes, copper is a conductor of electricity, but it got nothing to do with why it will not work. Okay, the idea of non-magnetic material must be stated. Okay, that is the key as to why this machine will not work if you change the steel gate to a non-magnetic material such as copper or even aluminium or gold. Okay, so this is a pretty tough question. So let me put it this way. Okay, with that, thank you very much.